Okay, good afternoon and welcome to Skillathon session. Skillathon is part of Masai School. The focus is holistic development. Apart from your tech capability, we want to build your communication skills, soft skills, and behavioral elements that helps you to become a competent developer. That's the whole focus as far as the Skillathon is concerned. What is it that we focus is on three areas to build your skill sets. That includes business communication skills, presentation skills, both virtual and in person, corporate etiquettes, interpersonal skills, teamwork. A lot of tools that are required to build your capability. Basically, tools helps you to enhance the efficiency and effectiveness. And we also cover the elements around mindset, which includes the growth mindset, the marathon mindset, 7 habits that are helpful for students at Masai School. What kind of a mindset I must have, problem solving mindset, things like softer topics like achievement orientation, mastery focus, other areas. Okay, so just as you remember in the unit 1 we discussed about the 7 habits of our successful students at Masai School. To start with, their effort focus, effort in the right quantity, quality, and direction. They just don't look at 1 unit or 1 week, they look at the marathon. 30 weeks is a marathon in Masai School. So to run a marathon, you need to be ready both physically and mentally. How do I be proactive? There's a huge difference between reactive and a proactive student. All it requires is deliberate practice to master a skill. Whenever you want to enhance a skill, you must focus on deliberate practice. Obviously, there's a lot to learn. Though you are spending 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week, 30 weeks, still many students figure out that they are not able to manage their time. The amount of grit that you need to demonstrate, which is nothing but a combination of perseverance, resilience, and never give up, is absolutely important. I'm sure by now you have realized that why many of your other colleagues who joined along with you with the same level of admission scores and interviewing, clearing the interview, but still they could not complete. One big factor is they were not willing to persevere to solve a problem, and they gave up very easily. And whenever they had a setback or a failure, they could not get up and do it again. Right? Here is a set of students who are in unit 2. They have demonstrated this perseverance, never give up, and resilience. And of course, self discipline is one of the key elements that make all this happen. So, what I'm doing today in the next 30 minutes or so, I'm going to talk about self discipline again. And I'm going to talk about not there are 5 self-discipline that you and me should develop that will help not just in our journey at Masai School, but both professionally and personally that will help you. This is my favorite quote, and I'll keep using it quite often. And Aristotle said this not very recently, but 2000 years ago. He said, "We are what we repeatedly we do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit." So, one of the reasons to build a habit is self discipline. So look at any of the habits that you have developed over a period of time, whether it is a good or a bad, you have been self-disciplined in doing that particular act. That's why it has become a habit. So what is self-discipline? It is nothing but it's a bridge between our goals and accomplishment. All of us have goals. I want to have X amount of money in my bank. I want to have this designation. I want to build a house. I want to have a fit and a sound body, and I want to meditate for so long. I want to contribute to the society. I want to give it back to my family. We have many goals. I'm sure all of us have goals, but why is it many of us don't accomplish? Because we lack that discipline. So today my focus is why this discipline is important and what are those 5 discipline you should never ever sacrifice, never ever compromise. I'm going to talk about it, and which is a very general session that we are having, which will be useful. So I found this definition of self discipline is doing what you have to do when you have to do, whether you like it or not. So if you look at the key word is doing. So discipline is not just thinking, it is a doing. Self discipline is doing what you have to do. I have to attend the scrum. I have to do the problem solving session. I have to do the data structures algorithm. I have to attend skillathon. I have to attend the evening stand up. What I have to do. When I have to do, 9 o'clock you have a scrum, 10 o'clock you have a DS algo section, 2:30 you have a skillathon, you have a 7 o'clock stand up. That is when you have to do, whether you like it or not. So self-discipline is all about doing. So that is the power of self-discipline. And the beauty about is it's like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger you become. The less you train it, the weaker you become. It's absolutely true. Over the last few months, I started getting a lower back pain. And when I consulted a doctor, he said, look, you guys are doing a work from home. And he asked me, what is my schedule? I told I start my morning at 8:30, it goes on till 7:30. What percentage of time you spend on the screen? I said 70%. He said, gosh, to almost 11 hours that you're working 8:30 to 7:30, in that 70% you're in front of the screen. What do you expect to happen to your lower back? And that is what is happening. So you better strengthen it by some exercises in the morning and evening, and in between, whenever you get a time, do some stretch exercises. Self-discipline is also like that. The more you do it, the stronger it becomes. It's a kind of a control, friends. Many of us, we lack self-discipline because we lack self-control, which is a sign of inner strength and control of yourself, your actions and your reactions. So three things are there you control. You control yourself, your actions, and your reaction to an external stimuli. How do you respond or how do you react makes a big difference when you have a self-discipline. The foundation of self-discipline is ability to control my thoughts, my actions, and my attitude and feeling. Now, sometime my eldest son is in 10th standard, and 10th is boards, and he's also preparing for his engineering exams. So I keep telling him what is required is a marathon, right? It is not about just performing in 11th or 12th. You must start from 10th because the competition is severe. You need X amount of preparation time. The deliberate practice is required. What I tell you is exactly I tell him also. But getting up on his own and do few days I can ask him to do as a reminder, but it is a self discipline to control my thoughts and action. Sometimes you feel that अरे यार आज छोड़ो अभी भी बहुत time है, let me start doing it later, or I'll do it in the evening, or I'll study extra in the evening. That's what happens to us, right? It is how you control your thoughts. When that alarm goes at 5:30 in the morning, what thoughts comes to your mind? It's okay to sleep half an hour more, or it says that I will sleep a little more in the morning, I will do in the night. Now these are the kind of excuses that we give, right? Or reasoning that we give. So the foundation of your self discipline is how do you control your thoughts, because any activity that needs to be done by you is controlled by this person, right? The monkey in the brain controls you whether you do it or you don't do it. And I love this. Suffer the pain of discipline or the suffer the pain of regret. I'm telling you, the students who went out for whatever reason, they will suffer the pain of regret of dropping out from Masai School. I'm not saying this is the only path, but if they have some other path, I wish them good luck. But many of the students, they still come back to us. Sir, give me a chance. I thought that I'll go back, do my fundamentals and come. It didn't happen. I thought I will do something else. It didn't happen. Can I get an admission back into Masai School? Every batch, the admission is getting tougher and tougher and tougher. You would be surprised that some of the people who left, they are trying this admission cycle, they did not qualify. They said, I qualified last time. I said, yes, but this time the test is made even tougher. The cutoffs are much tougher, and it is bound to happen. So I want you to watch this video. I'll show it a little later. It is a theory of excuses. Now, there's a beautiful book written by Brain Tracy, whom I consider as my guru. And he says the power of discipline starts with when you stop giving excuses. He calls it disease of excusitis, right? We people who lack self-discipline are the ones who have a list of excuses. He calls it disease of excusitis. I'll share with you a little later. So why it is important? It is the first step to better you, right? It all starts with 9 a.m. scrum. It all starts with what time you get up in the morning. It all starts with what kind of thought process you apply to the scrum. That is why we take scrum very seriously. It is the first step better you. And once you start doing that, you feel better. Your self-esteem goes up. The moment your self-esteem goes up, you stop procrastinating. See, one of the challenges when we lack of self-discipline is we procrastinate. चलो यार आज साइकिलिंग नहीं किया, कल करूंगा. कल नहीं हुआ, मैं सैटरडे से शुरू करूंगा. सैटरडे सुबह वेदर ठीक नहीं, कोल्ड हो गया तो फिर 2-3 दिन काम नहीं कर पाऊंगा. Now, this is nothing but procrastination. Are you with me? I procrastinate. I confess. If I had not procrastinated, I could have been 2, 3x better than what I am. I'm sure all of us do it. The question is, do you procrastinate on those things which are important in your life? Then you will pay a big price. Things which are not so important, you procrastinate, still it is okay. But some of us, what we do is we procrastinate on things which are very critical. And once you start being self disciplined, you will see that you start achieving goals. It could be small, big goals. And then that is where the transformation happens, both personal and professional one. According to us, it's a practice, it is doing, it's a habit, it's a skill, it's a philosophy, it's a way of life. Now, having said that, what happens, many people who don't follow self-discipline, they think it is a limiting, restrictive lifestyle. Are yaar, ye jawani hai. I need to live my life, right? I don't know how many of you have listened to the song of Dr. Alban. I used to listen to when I was in college. It's my life. Tomorrow I'll play it for you. It's my life, right? So people who don't follow self-discipline, no, they think it's a restrictive lifestyle. But go and ask people who are having that discipline, they are the most liberated people because they're able to control their thoughts, they're able to control their body and mind. I know a colleague of mine, ex-colleague, he is, if he says, if he's, unless he's really sick, he has not missed getting up every day at 5:30 and going for a jog. And he doesn't see it as a restrictive lifestyle. In fact, if he does not go, he feels so rusted, right? It is not about being narrow minded, it's about doing what you want to do, right? So let's move forward, and I want to talk about one celebrity here whom I admire a lot. You know him, it's Akshay Kumar, right? 52 years plus 25 years in Bollywood. He is dedicated, fit and charming, the most bankable star. He follows a simple routine and he is doing it as a religious. Wakes up at 4 a.m. in the morning, swims, and then every day does some martial arts for an hour or so, practices yoga, right? Stretching exercises, and he does 5 to 6 times a week. Always on the set at time, and close to 4 to 5 movies he does a year. It's really, really difficult to do so many movies. Doesn't smoke, doesn't drink. Can you imagine being a celebrity, Bollywood, so much of money, not smoking, not drinking? If you go back to his life, he was in Bangkok and he worked as a waiter and practiced martial arts in the night. On diet, he has a very simple formula: eat everything, but at the right time. He says the food should be taken before 7 o'clock and it needs 2 to 3 hours to get digested. And he says that is his mantra. And his day ends early too. Whenever he's been invited for a party, everyone knows Akshay leaves at 9 p.m., right? Before 9 p.m., sorry, because 9 p.m. he has to hit his bed. So this is purely self-discipline, right? When he can do it, why can't we do it? So I'm going to talk about 5 self-discipline that will help you in your both professional and personal life. Okay. So are you interested in knowing what are these 5 disciplines? Please type yes. Please type yes. Okay. So let's start. So let's start. What is discipline number 1? The discipline number 1 is called the physical discipline. The second discipline is emotional discipline. Many of us struggle a lot because we are not able to control our emotions, right? We react rather than respond. The third discipline, which is a critical for the 21st century, is learning, because change is constant, right? The only thing that is constant is change. And if things are changing, if I don't learn what is required, you'll not be able to do. Avinash, you're perfectly fine. The next one is financial discipline. I know many of my friends who earned a similar amount of money like what I have done, but they're still not financially secured, is because they lacked financial discipline. Financial discipline has to be learned at a very young age. Otherwise, you will pay the price, right? So the momentary aha that you get by spending and you struggle for the rest of the year, it is better understand what is this call for. All this will work only if there is one important E. I'm going to talk about E. Effort is the effort discipline. Sunil, I think you attended this session of mine. Anyways, so let's look at the physical discipline. It's going to talk about fitness and health. We're going to talk about exercise and diet. Emotional discipline is power to choose whether you're going to react or respond. Learning discipline is focus on knowledge and skill, right? Continuously renewing yourself so that you can get adapted and better. And the last one is spending habits, saving habits, and investment discipline, right? Are you staying invested, or you invest and you withdraw? Invest and withdraw. How is it that we are going to look at it? All this is possible only with the help of an effort discipline. So let's start. The first one is the physical discipline. There are two elements here. Diet is what you put into the body, and exercise is what you do with your body. Both are super critical, right? So many of us take care anyone, or we don't take both, or very few of us take care of both of us. Personally reflecting, largely I'm okay with the diet, what I put into the body, but in terms of exercise, I'm not at all there. I walk for 30, 40 minutes of a day. That is not good enough. I need to do a lot more exercise. I need to do a little, not little, a lot more, right? Otherwise, I'm going to pay the price for it. I need to figure out the time. I know I have a very busy day, but as Akshay Kumar says, if you can't give your body 1 hour a day, doob marna chahiye. That is how he says. Hopefully, I'll show that video with you. I have that link, right? This is the only thing that lives with you. The only thing that lives with you is your body. Your jobs might change, the tech stacks might change, you may change the company, your partners might leave and go, the children leave and go for their career. What is always close to you is your body. And if you can't give 1 hour a day to your body, then I think it's a big question there. And it is ultimate discipline for few of them because it is measurable, it is physical, it is daily, and it is constant, and it reflects your life. So you're all very young. I wish somebody had taught me these are the 5 disciplines that I need to focus in my 20s. I would have been a much better individual today. And you get an opportunity. I've put together this design basis my understanding, of course, talking to my mentors and reading a lot of books. I put together a structure which is useful to start with it. Okay, somebody says that emotional discipline is the most difficult, probably for one set of people. There is no one discipline for saying that is the most difficult. It is always subjective. For somebody, financial discipline can be the most difficult. If you ask me, financial discipline for me is the easiest has been, whereas physical discipline has been the most toughest for me, right? So it depends on learning discipline has never been a challenge with me because I have always been a continuous learner that has helped me to navigate my career in different paths. If you look at it, what I started my career and what I am today, I have taken so many different paths and turns to reach here, and that was possible because continuously I was learning, upskilling myself at relevant stages that helped me to go to the next level. Okay, so it's always subjective. So fitness goal is very simple: the strength, the endurance, and the flexibility. Okay, these 3 things are absolute must. You should do that. Let's watch a video here. Now, the moment we talk about physical and fitness, we always use this word impossible. Oh, it's impossible for me to get up in the morning. It's impossible for me to go for a jog. It is impossible for me to exercise. But let's look at what this guy says. Okay, let's watch it. It's a 2-minute video.
Far and away, the number one question I get on my site is how do I get motivated to do something? A lot of emails come in and say, hey Joel, I really like your site, it's really inspiring, I like what you're doing. I'd like to do something on my own, but I'm just not feeling motivated to do it. Now how can I get some motivation or do the things that I really want to be doing? And this comes up a lot, and I've talked about it before, but I want to address it again. And motivation is a myth. It doesn't exist, and when it does, it's not worth pursuing. The number one reason it's not worth pursuing is because it's incredibly fleeting. How many times has this happened to you? Oh, it's 11 at night, I just read this really inspiring fitness article. Man, I want to get back in shape. I'm totally going to wake up tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. and start working out. And then the next day, and I'm going to do that for a week straight, and then a month straight, and then I'm going to get really strong and really fit, and it's going to be awesome. And then you go to sleep. And you wake up the next day at 8 o'clock. And you got to rush to work, you get through the work day, you got to come home, you got to eat, you got to feed the kids, you got to, clean up around the house, and then all of a sudden it's nighttime and you never worked out. Motivation happens like that all the time, and people still pursue it all the time. If I could just get motivated, if I can just find the right stuff, and then I would be in the perfect situation that I could totally go accomplish things that I want to do. The people that accomplish things in life are not motivated, they're disciplined. They don't say, hey, you know what, I'm really motivated tonight. That means I'm going to work out tomorrow and the rest of the week, and I'm suddenly going to be fit and I'm going to be a more productive person, and I'm going to finally start going after the things I really want to be doing. No, the people who accomplish stuff say, you know what, tomorrow, 5 o'clock, whether I feel like it or not, I'm getting up, going to the gym, I'm working out, it's going to be done. They're disciplined, they're not motivated. People are motivated, you wait around, wait around until you see the right video or read the right post, or you get this little inkling that you really want to do something. And as soon as that thing passes, motivation's gone, and you're like, how can I just get motivated again? And that's completely the wrong approach. It doesn't work long term, and it's not going to help you be successful. If you want to be successful, you have to decide, hey, you know what, rain or shine, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to become disciplined. I'm going to create a routine. I'm going to build a system, and I'm going to execute on it, no matter what, until I get what I want. So how do you get motivated? You know what? You really don't. You get disciplined instead, and by getting disciplined, that's how you accomplish the things that you really want to do. There you go. If you guys have any other questions, leave them below. Let me know.
Yes, a lot of people ask me, how do I get motivated, Yogesh? I have the same answer as what this individual said. I don't know. Motivation is almost internal. Instead, focus on getting discipline. And how do I get discipline? Have very strong purpose in your life. When the purpose is strong, then the distraction does not matter at all. So this is what Akshay Kumar fitness mantra that he talks about it. I will share the link. It's a longer video. But as I told you, he talks about that particular element that we must give 1 hour to our body, otherwise it will not do that. Let's look at emotional discipline, the second discipline, as some of them have mentioned, like Ashish, saying that that's the most difficult for me. Yes, it could be there. Some people are emotionally strong, some people are weak, some people don't know what exactly emotions means. Now, many a times at work, this comes into play in a big way, right? People get hired basis their IQ, but they get fired because of EQ. It's also called as emotional quotient. What do you mean by emotions? Typically, what are the emotion intelligence is all about? Now, one gentleman there's a one professor who did incredible amount of study on this subject is Daniel Goleman. And he says emotional intelligence is the capacity of recognizing my own feelings and the feeling of others, for motivating ourselves and for managing emotions well in ourselves and in our relationship. So it is not about recognizing my own feeling, but I should also understand others' feeling. Then your emotional intelligence quotient is high. Remember, as you grow in your hierarchy, it is not about just managing work, right? It is also managing others. And if you want to manage others, you must also understand what does the other person feel about it. Now, the moment why it is impacts is poor interpersonal skills is not being a good team player. Generally, it is said that I have poor interpersonal skills is not being a good team player, and difficulties in handling change. So if you are not a team player and you can't handle change, forget it. How can you grow? I may be a great Java developer. I may be very good in my backend. Yes, but how long you will only keep writing codes, right? After some point, you need to start managing projects. You need to start managing people. And do you think if you are not a good team player and not good in handling change, the company is going to give you a larger responsibility? No way. In fact, already at this level, the coding percentage is only 30%, right? I keep repeating these statistics. As an SDE1, software developer engineer role 1, which most of you will join, the time spent is only 30% in coding, 70% in communicating, collaborating, cooperating, coordinating, working on projects. But as you keep going, even that percentage keeps dropping. And you will spend more time working in teams and handling changes, right? And it is always said that EQ is more potent of prediction of career success, because he's able to handle frustration, ability to deal with diverse range of issues, ability to manage own emotions. ability to manage own social skills. All this makes it super important. Now, what are the basic human emotions? Right? The basic human emotions are what? Anger. Can you put few more emotions on the chat box? Can you please use your chat box? What could be the other emotions? One, I've given an example, anger, sadness. Okay. What else? Happy. Yes, happy. Frustration, bored, irritated, angry. Silence is an action. Okay. Now, fear. I think many of us get into this emotion called fear. Right? When you have fear, you can have two options: leave everything and run, or face everything and resist. Sadness, shock, happiness, joy, surprise, disgust. So, as I told you, IQ gets hired, but EQ gets promoted. Right? Many a times, and people don't understand, अरे उससे मैं better developer हूँ, बट कंपनी ने दूसरा आदमी को प्रमोट किया क्योंकि कंपनी ने उसके साथ आईक्यू के साथ ईक्यू को भी जज किया. क्योंकि when you grow up the ladder, you will be doing this more, being a team player and ability to handle change. And if you don't have that, you will not be able to do that. Forget it. It is not going to be like your public sector or government offices where X number of years is equal to one promotion. It's not going to happen. IQ plus EQ is equal to success, right? So employer values emotional intelligence over IQ because for the following reason. One, usually remain calm under pressure, lead by example, resolve conflicts effectively, empathetic to other colleagues, and may put consideration into business decisions. Okay? I'll just skip this. Let's move to the third one, is the learning discipline. So we have covered two disciplines so far. Can you please use your chat box and write what are the two disciplines that we have covered? What was the first one? Physical discipline and the emotional discipline. Let's go to the third one, is the learning discipline. I have shared with you how important is the learning skill, right? 65% of the jobs that you are doing, the jobs, the generation, what you're going to do, is not even exist yet. That means the new jobs are going to be created, right? Up to 45% of the activities that you are doing now, it will get automated. 45% of the activity that you are doing will get automated. This does not mean there will be fewer jobs. It means new jobs requiring different skill. As you keep moving up in your professional journey, if you don't pick up the new skills and the new traits, you will find it very difficult. So the employability, if you want to remain employable, the employability quotient, what it means is as the new skills become in demand as fast as others become extinct, employability is less about what you already know and more about your capacity to learn. What is your capacity to learn becomes very much fundamental. So it's a key to stay relevant and succeed in the future. I love this quote of Alvin Toffler. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who can't read, write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Those who cannot skill, reskill, upskill. Right? I just want to add it to what Alvin Toffler said. Go back. What was illiterate? Illiteracy means those who cannot read and write, right? In fact, Alvin Toffler saying that literacy is given for granted. Remotest of the village, people know to read and write. But who is an illiterate in the 21st century? What does unlearn mean? Sometimes we have to unlearn. I would have learned, okay, for example, I would have learned facilitation standing in a room. Right? There are few techniques that I have learned when I do in-person session. But if I have to continue doing in the online, I have to unlearn few of the things. For example, let's say that I'm a test player. Now, if I have to play at one day or a T20, I have to unlearn few things. Are you with me, Arun? What is meaning of unlearning? Because that can prevent you from doing this task. I have to unlearn. Arun, can you give me a confirmation that you got it? Okay. Suman is saying yes. Okay. Okay. So the mantra is simple: keep learning. Okay. So what are the things that you should keep learning? I'm just not talking about at Masai School. Of it will be taken care after you graduate from Masai School. I keep telling our alumni, one, you must keep learning your domain, which is your core. Web development could be a core, Android development can be a core, or somebody can be do on artificial intelligence or software technologies, whatever domain that you are in. The core, your domain, you must continuously learn because change is happening tremendously there. You must also learn about the industry that you are in. I'm in edutech industry. Probably tomorrow you may join a fintech industry. You may join something to do with e-commerce. Whatever industry you are in, you must be well versed in this industry because it is not just the domain knowledge, also your industry knowledge helps you to apply that domain knowledge to your industry. And then, of course, what are the new trends that are coming? How it is going to disrupt the way in which we are operating. 5, 10 years back, nobody heard about artificial intelligence, machine learning, right? But today, if you look at it, the trends have captured. Cloud, I remember 2010, people were talking about cloud. And no, being from non-tech background, for me, I simply couldn't understand what are they saying cloud. I was just looking up cloud. And today you see cloud is so deep rooted. And of course, if you want to move up the ladder, it is not just your technical, but also ability to build your soft skills and leadership skills becomes very critical. Okay, so make sure that these four things are a continuous learning. It never stops. And there are many, many different ways to learn this. You have enough access to books, blogs, brilliant. Some of the blogs written by subject matter experts are unbelievable. Podcast. Podcast is nothing but on a specific topic, somebody is giving you an audio discussion. YouTube. Today, YouTube, you have plethora of content there. Twitter, online, courses, open sources, your network, influencers, from where you studied, alma mater. Absolutely, Suman, I am learning every day because I am a learning professional. If I don't learn, how can I be upfront with others? When I say learn, I'm not enrolled into a proper degree course or something like that. I think I'm almost at the fag end of it. But as recent as 2013-14, I did a 1 year program in human resources in XLRI. That was the last formal course I did, but I keep doing some smaller element. Recently, I enrolled for I think 8 hour session on Harappa. Yes, XLRA Jamshedpur, right? Because I was a learning and development professional, and my company said that I must pick up something related to human resources, and I did a small program there. Of course, it was largely virtual, but I spent 1 week in Jamshedpur. Amazing campus, of course, but when we went, the weather was very bad. It was in the month of May, extreme hot, but the campus was good. The profs are very nice, right? So what I'm trying to say here is learning continuously is very important. Okay, something or the other you need to keep doing if you want to keep moving, right? So good developers never stop learning. I will share this with you, right? So IT professionals can foster continuous learning mindset. I'll share all these links with you later. So, as Warren Buffett said, the more you learn, the more you learn. If he's the world's richest man, is saying you can earn more by learning more. In fact, his daily schedule starts with reading 3 hours of newspaper and some journals. That's how his day starts, analyzing various inputs that are given. Fourth one, let's look at the personal finance, the financial discipline. Okay, now the ability to discipline yourself. Please read this very carefully. Take a screenshot required to delay gratification in the short term in order to enjoy greater rewards in the long term is an indispensable prerequisite for success. It is more so true for financial independence. Many a times what I do is I am supposed to buy, let's say, a Samsung 15,000 rupees phone, but I am getting I want that gratification of owning a OnePlus or an Apple. I spend a 40,000 rupees for. I'm not saying you should not buy, but is it required to buy now basis your income? What happens is once you settle for an iPhone of, let's say, 40,000 or a 50,000, you can never come down to 15,000. That's what happens. It's hard to understand. Yes. What I'm saying is there are many people, right? Aaj holi hai, mujhe khelna hai. Rather than saying that I will not play Holi for this year, for 2 days, I need to focus on Masai School and complete the project. And I will play a bigger Holi next year at the same time. I will remember that last Holi, I sacrificed 2 days on my desk to do that project. But this Holi, I'll celebrate 2x. That's what it means, Satvik. Delay the gratification in the short term in order to enjoy greater rewards in the long term. Today, I will not watch India versus England one-day match. I will focus on my preparation for my entrance exam. But once I get into the college next year, I will watch this complete series of India versus England day and night. Are you with me, Satvik? Have I made it easy to understand? Absolutely. Delay the gratification. I'm not saying don't watch cricket. I'm not saying don't buy iPhone. I'm saying that today you don't buy because that amount that you save today and settle with, let's say, a lesser mobile can help you to have a greater rewards, right? If I can buy a smaller car, why should I buy a bigger car? Why should I buy an SUV as my first car when I can't afford for that? Right? I can buy later. Life is a long journey. Okay. So the power of compounding is what I want you to understand here. I want to put up this question without using a calculator. I want you to give a number. Let's say here Kamal Gupta. Kamal Gupta saves 5,000 rupees every month for 20 years in a fund, let's say a mutual fund or in a stock market or in any kind of investment that can give him a 10% annually. What do you think, Kamal, the amount will be in 20 years? 5,000 रुपया हर महीने आप एक इन्वेस्टमेंट में डाल रहे हो, मतलब 150 rupees a day. 30 crores, I think, Suman, you are way off. Maybe 40 lakhs. Okay. We are very close. I think whoever said 40 lakhs, you have a little sense of financial one. Suman, 30 crore, you have not understood what is 30 crores is all about. You need to go back to your math and know the numbers. 30 crore is a big money. 30 crores, that is equivalent to $5 million. Right? You are right. Very close. Chetan is saying 40 lakhs, 38.28 lakhs. 150 rupees a day. If I invest for 20 years, I will have 40 lakh rupees. Now, imagine the same Kamal extended it, okay, for 30 years. Not 20 years, but 30 years. Another 10 years he continues. What do you think will be the amount? Chetan, you were very close. 1 crore? You're there. Brilliant, Chetan. Good one. 1.14 crore. So that is the power of compounding. Many people, what they do, what happens to people who want to save, they don't understand this. They save here, start saving. अरे यार मेरा बैलेंस ही नहीं बढ़ रहा है, बहुत कम इंटरेस्ट आ रहा है, पता नहीं क्या होएगा, इस पे आप विड्रॉ कर देते. But you see what happens if you are there. Compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. Absolutely. People who have built wealth, it is simply because of the self-discipline and understood the power of compounding. Yes, there would be a time value of money, Kapil Pant, but still 1.14 crore you have, no? What is the time value of your iPhone that you bought 5 years back? Zilch. People will buy you for 1,000 rupees. At least your amount, 1,000 has become in 5 years, let's say 2,000 rupees. Even if the time value is 1,800 rupees, but still it is 1,500 rupees vis-a-vis your iPhone, what you bought has got no value, or a scrap value you get. Yes, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Power of compounding. So financial discipline has got 3 elements. the way you spend, the way you save, and where you invest, right? So I'm not saying don't have fun. 20s, 30s is the year, is the age that you must have fun. I'm not saying don't do it, but enjoy your life, but make sure that you don't sacrifice for the long term. Think of the compounding and you make it. So physical discipline, emotional discipline, learning discipline, and financial discipline, and all this will work only if you have efforts. And E is for efforts, not for excuses. Today, the weather is bad. I don't go for a walking or a cycling or a jogging. Today, I have a little lower back pain. I'm not going to get up and go for an exercises. अभी होली है, मैं थोड़ा spend कर दूंगा. It is excuses. Learning, बाद में पढ़ लूंगा, अभी मुझे बहुत काम है. Excuses. E stands for efforts and not excuses, right? So all this will start with belief, leading to attitude, efforts, and results, right? So effort in the right quantity, in the right quality, and in the right direction. I've told this n number of times, right? Sometimes some of the students focuses on quantity, but they don't ask question around quality and direction. So all these three are important if you really want to achieve success in life in the right way, right? So all this will help you, and this was my effort to put together on self-discipline and those 5 disciplines that will help you to build your life both personally and professionally, to have a much more successful and fulfilling life, right? Remember, friends, most of us will survive 70 years and plus. That is the average life expectancy I'm talking about. Okay, I'm talking about life expectancy as per the India medical report. If you go to Japan, people live even up to 84, 85 years. India today, the life expectancy is close to 70 years. And if you have to live for 70 years, and if you want to enjoy life, it's gone up, Bhargav. Just read the recent survey. The life expectancy of an Indian at birth is 68.75 years. 68.75 years. And most of the educated adults live a little longer because we do some periodic tests and things like that, and medical insurance and etc. Of course, untimely deaths keeps happening. I'm talking about the life expectancy is based on an average population in a particular area. Okay, so we're going to live longer, right? Let's accept that if you want to live longer, I must be exercise and diet should be good. How do I handle people? How do I handle my emotions? Since I need to be employed, how do I keep learning? Since I need vitamin M is required, right? Good old days, if you look at it, 1 generation back or 2 generation back, the children were the insurance for the family, right? What I mean is, I need to take care till I retire. After that, my son will take care of me or my daughter will take care of me. But today, that era is completely changed because the sons and the daughters go and look out of their life, and they expecting them would be extremely difficult, right? So you need to take care about your finances. So if you want to take care about your finances, you need to be financial discipline should be there. So take care of your spending habits, consistent savings and investment. All this should be backed by efforts in the right quantity, right quality, right direction. And that is what ultimately will help you to achieve all of these 4, right? So that was my effort put together. I hope the session has been value addition. So let's sign off by looking this short video. And apart from that, I will send you a lot of links that during this entire presentation that I had. I want you to go back during this weekend, read some of those extra reading, look at some of these videos, and I want you to share this with your friends and families, because whatever I have shared with you, it is applicable to anyone at any stage, right? Good. So let's watch this video, a 3-minute video before we sign off.
If you're not disciplined with the food that you eat, with the way that you spend your money, it's going to be hard to be disciplined with other things in your life. Discipline is all connected. Get discipline in everything that you do. All these things will tie in together. People aren't disciplined at times with when to wake up, when to go to bed. Start getting discipline on what time you're going to get up, what time you're going to go to bed. Stay disciplined and focused on the system that over time will provide the results that you want. It's hard. No crap is hard. It's supposed to be hard. Anything worth having in life is going to be hard. So ask yourself, what is your goal? Why are you doing this? Do you have a plan or a schedule in place that you're supposed to follow? If not, put a plan in place, put a schedule in place. But the key to it all is you got to have discipline to follow it day in and day out. Develop a little notepad of what not to do. People have to-do lists. Have some discipline on what not to do. Things that you know start holding you down. Don't drink during the weekday, or whatever are the small things that you know are starting to knock you down in life. Here's what I've heard discipline defined as one of my favorite definitions. I think it was by Nick Saban back in the day. I heard him say, discipline to me is doing what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, the way it needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. Too many people go based on how they feel. Discipline don't have anything to do with how you feel. Discipline has everything to do with doing what needs to happen regardless of how you feel. You're not always gonna feel like doing the right things, eating the right foods, making the right decisions, waking up when you need to wake up, and grinding the way that you need to grind. That's where discipline comes into play. If you want freedom, you better have discipline. Discipline provides a life of freedom. Do the things that you need to do right now, and over time you'll get a chance to do all the things that you want to do down the road. If you do the things that you want to do right now that are comfortable, you may not ever get to live the life that you want to live. Be the best student in the room at all times. Be disciplined to the process over time. I didn't tell you what happened overnight, but over time, if you're disciplined to the process, good things are going to happen.
Okay, that was a power-packed video on discipline. That's what I want to talk about it. Don't look for motivation, look for self-discipline. To make that happen, make sure that you have a very strong purpose in life. It's a kind of fun, right, to do impossible thing. So what you guys are doing is an impossible thing. Imagine a non-coder with zero coding experience. Many of you are from non-tech background. Many of you from tier 2-3 cities. Many of you studied in vernacular language. What are you attempting? You are attempting to join, to learn the full stack web development in 30 weeks, compete with 1 or 2 people experience in the market, and doing the impossible thing. So it's fun. So remember, you must enjoy this journey. If you don't enjoy this journey, every day will be very difficult and you will break down. So I want you to have fun in this journey. When you have fun, only when you enjoy what you're doing. Just to give you that, today, myself and Shweta from the placement team, we interacted with Byju's. Byju's wants to hire Masai students. And they wrote to us a couple of days back, and today we had a 30-minute call. And we told what exactly our students goes through. It is not we are pushing resumes, right? We are building capability. We are building the skill set, the tool set, and the mindset that is required to make you all successful. And I told, don't go by what we say, go and interview our student when they are ready, right? So it's fun. And remember, when you look back and say that those 30 weeks that I spent in Masai changed my direction, changed my trajectory, changed my outlook to what is life is all about, profession is all about. Okay, so best wishes to Team Samurai, because some of you will be continuing with the Utter program. All the best, and look forward to connect with you all. Okay, thank you.